So the Get Connected project has had quite a few referrals so far. Are there any themes, common themes, or is every referral completely different?
Obviously, every referral is unique, but there are some common themes coming through. So one big one is people feeling socially isolated, family and people that working with them feeling that their physical and mental health is being affected by being at home and not being confident enough to go out and connect again with activities.
Okay.
So a lot of anxiety about going back into the world after COVID.
Okay. And I think also there's quite a lot of people that are living with older family carers in the family home.
Absolutely. So initially the referral is about those social aspects and about helping people to connect again. But then when you meet with a family, you see those wider issues. And then again, that's another common theme as meetings with middle-aged people who've got older parents that they're living with, and those parents are starting to think, what happens next? How can we prepare for the future and make sure that that person is going to be okay?
Okay, and we know that in Hart and Rushmoor it's been quite difficult for people to find activities. I think some of that is about the makeup of the area and the fact that it's split quite sort of geographically across small towns and larger villages, and there's no sort of centre, is there, to the activity? So yeah, people find it quite hard.
That's that aspect, but also that the world is a different place after COVID. So a lot of the groups have stopped or changed. So it's helped if we can provide that local up-to-date knowledge of, what groups are doing what.
Yeah, and I think every search we do is like a fresh search on the internet and our local knowledge every time. Gone are the days when you used to be able to keep a book or a directory of what was going on, because that just goes out of date.
Yeah, and we've got those personal connections with those groups, so we know what they're like and we know what will suit the different people that we're working with.
Yeah, or at least we can give options to people, can't we?
Absolutely.
And I guess we know a bit more about the vibe and the chemistry in a group or an activity, which you don't get from the internet or just somebody giving you a brief overview of what's happening.
That's right. And the groups are changing almost week by week, depending on the risk assessments they've got in place. Some are still on Zoom, some are moving away. So it's an ever-changing situation. So you've got to be in touch with those groups to know what the up-to-date information is.
Okay. And I think another theme as well is that there are people with just ongoing issues that are rumbling along in the background for months and years, and they're just not able to get things resolved.
Absolutely. And again, that's from COVID. I suppose people have pushed those things aside because other things have been on their mind. So it's a chance for people to readdress the other anxieties that they've got, and for us to look into different places that we can go to help them with that.
Yeah, different solutions that might be available. Okay, and yeah, so I think there's a lot of getting stuck on something, isn't there? And people are just sort of struggling to find an agency or a service or a person or a thing or some kind of solution to help them with a problem.
Yeah, and sometimes it just us spending time with the person, we can start to join some dots together and get the wider picture. It can be maybe a bit fragmented, and maybe one group's working with them already, but they don't know about the other groups that are working with them, and we can sort of connect it together and have a bit more of a holistic view on it.
Yeah, and a bit more of a coordination role as well, and helping people, like you say, join the dots and join it all together.
That's right.
Okay, so some themes emerging then are older family carers, sort of COVID hesitance about getting back out there now COVID has finished, apparently. Physical and mental health well-being and the decline in that over the last few years, finding suitable activities, and issues that people get stuck on and just don't really get resolved. So there's those kind of themes.
Absolutely. I think another one is independence. So a lot of people wanting to be more independent from their parents, if they're living with their parents, recognising that they want to do things on their own.
Okay, and that's a challenge for all involved, isn't it? For the person, their family, and for other services and support around them. Okay, and then we think about what advocacy does and what difference we can make with people. So there's that potential cost saving there around the fact that a few hours of advocacy is not that expensive, and you compare that to what might be needed to support people with all these issues going on in terms of services, so support time, accommodation related placements, respite, carer services, NHS, specialist learning disability services, housing, a whole range of things that might be needed, which actually could be avoided if advocacy is involved with somebody around planning for a solution to their particular issue.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.